Yo! Hope we're doing good. If we're not, well, that's a problem. Gibby-doo. Gibby-gibby-gibby-doo. Don't worry, I'm just making test noises. Okay. Oh my god, look at that name. That name is amazing. Papita Dragon with Buckle Janson Flippen Merrow? I'm not even sure. Amazing regardless. We got a lot of stuff to react to today, gang. Gang? Flappers? Oh, did I just... Oh, let's just get out of that. Discord. Discord. There it goes. There we go. Oh my gosh, wait a minute. Did we already get it? What are you doing? Death the Goat, thank you so much for the kroner. Ayo chat, kill to Death the Goat. I don't know why the embodiment of death is inside a goat, but that is what's happening, guys. You know, in my religion as a druid, it's like more like harvest god territory. But you know, well, isn't this a pretty song? It's like Death the Kid. This is just Death. Death has a pet goat that's also a reaper. That's ridiculous. I love it. Alright. Here we go.
In the anime underworld, crimes against the culture are considered especially heinous. In Otaku City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these violations are part of an elite squad known as the Special Weeb Unit. These are their stories.
Michael, you have to take responsibility here. One of your employees had a heart attack. He could have died because of the way you're allowing your office to run. Do you want that on your conscience?
Do you?
Michael?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
What?
harassment goal. Don't be a bald loser.
What the fuck?
Hey baby, how you doing? You doing good? No, I'm hanging out with the kids right now. We're having a grand old time. Oh my god.
Okay. Hold on, let's fix this. There we go. With my Twitch, where's everything? Where's literally everything? Okay, there had to be some scuff, right? Okay, I think you guys got to see, yeah, you did. You did. You got to see the live stream back in for a second, too, so... Extra scuff. No background music either, what the fuck? There's the background music. Okay, let's say hi to people. Let's say hi to people and forget the fact that that was a complete, like, I did not stick that landing. Like, the beginning was great. The clips were fired. But the intro was not. So, welcome everybody. My name is Elfpire Eva. Thank you for joining the chat. Magmafaults, Nick Skittles, Ike13D, Project Meteoric, that's the best Remy, Death to Go, Innie the Cat, a Lion Fan, It's Sumo Knight, Troubleshooter, once again, Papita Dragoon, West Buffalo James, Jamstone, Snick Fan, Miruro, oh my god, Nerdy Texas Accountant, Hawkeye, the Royal Bootlegger, Malfeasant Amalgam, Nerdy Texas Accountant says for 1 month, thank you for being a member. By the way, Sane, oh, hello everyone, hope everyone's doing good, and we are all doing great. Let's see here, Dylan, welcome to the chat. Oh, wow, Douglas Diaz came in out of nowhere with the 5 gifted memberships, thanks you so much. Let's see here, Jordan Brown, the Ultimate G-Man, Jay Quadrian, Mr. Grease, some dude not a glowy. Oh, there's a guy not. Are you sure you're not a glowy? Because I'm pretty sure that's what a glowy would say. I'm just saying. But become a member is money better spent than on Johnny Somali. That's true. That's true. We that is one of the first things we're going to be reacting to today. It's gonna be great. Let me actually get that right. Here we go. It's the first video that we're talking about. We are talking about Somali Discord leaked, blackmail and harassment exposed. This is a fast facts. They came from Legal Mindset. Look at that. Didn't mess it up. Don't have to walk around his town 7 times. Like self-flagging myself, like freaking, like medieval times. Holy crap, dude. But let's see here. Discord. Okay, Somali Discord lead. So this is very much him exposing this Discord. We're gonna jump right into it. We love Andrew Esquire with Legal Mindset. And let me go ahead and but Steve, welcome to the chat. The morning greeting claps have been spoken. All right, let's get rid of the background music. And let's see if this will work. And it did. Holy shit! Look at that. Fuck yeah. Apparently it is here.
Somali's stupidity agency has had a huge leak on Discord, and we now have some information which shows us a campaign of harassment, witness intimidation, impersonation, and all sorts of really bad behavior, which is going to hurt his case in court. Of course, this is a Legal Mindset where we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney dedicated to stopping nuisance streaming and to pursuing the maximum penalty for Ramzi Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali. So in today's case, we're actually going to be looking at a lot of stuff from Johnny Somali's Discord. I've got some comments right here from the general chat.
Okay.
Now, as a preface, this is all from his Discord community. Now, other than this first page, which is a general chat comment, almost everything we're going to talk about is from a private group. Another thing to note is
Okay.
there are several accounts impersonating me. Now, this one that I'm going to call fake,
Why are there?
i.e.
Wait.
the fake
Are you kidding? There are multiple fucking accounts in this Discord. Literally, I just fucking. Oh my god, that is so fucking wild to me, Johnny. And your stupidity team. You call it the intelligence team, but no, it's a stupidity team. Like, Legal Mindset is absolutely accurate that. But dear God, yeah, I can't believe people are impersonating him in his fucking Discord.
fake Legal Mindset account is
All right,
actually
here we
not Johnny Somali, but one of his underlings. That's kind of clear from the language referring to him as the boss and seeking his opinion and approval and kind of being his top sycophant, his top simp. But Johnny himself has several fake Legal Mindset accounts, which he uses on a regular basis, which just shows you that I am living rent-free in his head, and I am enemy number one.
You absolutely are. You are. I love it. I love it. And here's the thing. It's all his fault. Gomez, Adams, welcome to the chat. I did give him a model. But no. Andrew is absolutely public enemy number one for anybody in Johnny Somali's, Revsy, Esmil, Cam, Kidkuhak. Well, I can't ever say his name right. Anyway, I will say this right now. Like, it's amazing to see that, like, this has been happening. Like, consistent. Like, all Andrew has done is done what he's always done, and covering nuisance streamers in his territory in Southeast Asia is right. Yeah, of course he's gonna do that. He's doing it to Vitali. He's doing it to other nuisance streamers as well. But Johnny Somali just happens to be one of the biggest babies that he's covering, and the more attention and the more rent-free that Andrew lives in Johnny's head, the better for Andrew's viewership, for his CCB, for his content, for everything. So I'm all for it. Because, I mean, at this point, Johnny is just digging his own grave, and it's great. It's fucking great. Gabby's in. Welcome to the chat.
For them, which is really one of the things, in addition, that's exposed here in these leaks from his Discord, which, once again, he thought was fully secure, but we have access to every single inch and corner of his private conversations.
It's never secure.
Let's look over here. This is from the general chat. So this is just some language first here, talking about Fabarius and you know, how they're talking to Bong Bong's friend and how information is getting out. But what happened in the general chat was, any talk about Bong Bong got deleted, and also any talk about the case got deleted. So what they ended up doing was having a private group of what they were trying to call the Somali Intelligence Agency, but what I like to call the Somali Stupidity Agency.
So the Johnny, wait, hold on.
Agency, but what they were trying to call the Somali Intelligence Agency.
So the SIA. The SIA, okay.
But what I like to call the Somali Stupidity Agency.
The SSA sounds way better. I'm sorry, but the Somali Stupidity Agency, like, if you just abbreviate it, the SSA sounds way fucking better than the SIA. The SIA is too difficult to say, but SSA, the Somali, oh god, dude, it's perfect. Guys, we got a hot one coming direct from the SSA here. Fake illegal mindset, that's amazing. SSA is perfect. It rolls right off the tongue. Oh, JP Ravenfire, could you do me a favor and could you drop a Legal Mindset's Somali Conviction Team Ko-Fi? What the Ko-Fi link that Andrew uses to support the Somali Conviction Team? Because I mentioned that when you were here, I would love to see that link dropped. Because obviously I would love to have anyone in my community contribute as well as me contributing as well. Emotional cabbage.
This was an area and where people wanted to try to gather information on Bong Bong, information on me, and try to produce documents that were intimidating, try to produce legal documents, try to turn things over to Johnny's lawyer. They thought they could come up with legal defenses, despite none of them being Korean, much less lawyers. They thought they could advise Johnny on his case. This is the blind and stupid leading the blind and stupid. It is absolutely moronic, and we have all of the proof of that today, which was leaked to us in this really bombshell Discord release. So,
oh my god.
You can see here that they're clearly working for Somali, that all these people were his agents. They were supposedly trusted,
Yes, yeah.
although Somali says, this is Johnny Somali on his account. He calls himself Somali Diddy. He also has another one,
weird.
Somali Epstein, saying, don't trust anyone. Keep everything in here. Log it all. The irony is, by logging it all, it was all turned over to us. It was all revealed to you guys here today. So just to be in general, most of the stuff that was going on in this private chat, first of all, it begins with huge doxing attempts on me and my family, trying to attack me personally. Once again, I've said before, I don't really pay too much attention to that stuff. There's nothing they can do that can absolutely affect me. And absolutely, I will never stop covering this case, no matter how hard they try to attack me or create lies or defamation, etc. I am just going to continue pursuing these guys into the dirt. And we do still predict that Johnny will be convicted on all counts. And our coverage, the Somali conviction team, and what we are doing is all legal. It's all allowed, and it's all covered under Korean law. Also, one big thing they mentioned during...
Like, Andrew has said a couple times that he's making sure to talk with appropriate people who would know and be knowledgeable on the subject on what he's allowed to cover and what he's allowed to actually talk about online during his streams. I know he's doing his due diligence in that matter. Absolutely have faith in him to maintain that. Absolute vile attempt at the SSA to try to dox Andrew and his family. Are you fucking like, yeah, Andrew's right to not give it any attention, but it's still extremely, it's extremely distasteful, and just know that it is illegal in the state of Florida to dox somebody. So, do one have to spam the chat to get XP? No, actually, spamming the chat won't do much. I think super chats help towards XP, but I really don't know. This community thing is a completely brand new thing, and I didn't implement it. It's just implemented by default, so I had to do some research and see what's going on there. But Legal Mindset did reach out to me too, and I do know that there's a guy out there that is apparently, like, I'm one of the ways that they're trying to get it. Legal Mindset. It's why they call him Lolly Mindset and shit like that. I'm also not paying any attention to it. I'm not worried. But yeah, they are definitely grasping at every straw that they can to try and discredit the people that are even covering this in passing. You know, even people who are just loosely connected to Legal Mindset, they're trying to find out if there's a kink in the armor there. I'll let you know, you're not gonna find any kinks, and it's also illegal in the state of California to dox people as well. So, even if you did dox me, I'll just make a call to a couple people I know, and we'll get that taken care of. Anyway, let's continue.
This in this private group is I often make updates and corrections with new information. Whenever I do that, they call it lies and misinformation. But what I call that is having integrity. When you find out new information and that changes your analysis, you update everybody on that. The difference between myself and Johnny Somali is Johnny Somali keeps maintaining the same statements and lines even when the facts have changed under him. Even when everything is clearly not true. Stuff like, oh yeah, you've got a new charge. Somali will say, no, there's no new charge. Legal Mindset doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, now, 7 new charges later, what does he got to say? Not much, because I've been proven right every single step of the way on every...
I know this is, I don't think this is covered in this, and I'm so sorry for bringing it up. But this was, published, I think a couple days ago on Legal Mindset's channel. If you notice, he actually does, we do mention a second deepfake, charge has been confirmed is going to be hidden in the books against Johnny Somali involving the male that Andrew actually interviewed. But the first deepfake charge was regarding the material that was created of Johnny and Bong Bong. And then the second charge, which has come out, which means like he's looking at he's looking at years in prison. Minimum. Like minimum. Absolute minimum. So that second deep fake charge, which carries with it upwards of like 7 years in prison, especially if it's aggravated, which in my opinion and several other people's opinions, several of the standards for aggravated sentencing have been met. So he's looking at upwards of he's looking between, I think it's like 4 to 12 years on the broad scale. I think more realistically, he'll probably get 4 to 5, maybe 6. But yeah, he's not looking good. Young man, thank you. Yeah, young man, that's the guy's name. May they bring the Latte World stuff involving children be brought against Ramsey with the force of 1,000 cabbages. Yeah, for real. I think Aogami. Nice. Okay, let's continue. But that was a fast fact. We're not going to be reacting to that one today. But I do know that second deep fake charge is confirmed by Legal Mindset as being it's going to be hitting him. He doesn't have a lot to he's cooked, guys. He's absolutely cooked.
Thing involving his legal process. So it's just something where these guys are really incredibly misguided. So here we go. The first thing we have is witness intimidation. So we have several attempts to intimidate witnesses, most of which is Bong Bong. The key witness, which is going against her, Bong Bong is a female who had a deep fake made of her with Johnny Somali, where Johnny Somali asserts that he is Bong Bong's girlfriend. So you can see here, they're trying to threaten her. They're trying to threaten her and trying to say, oh, all of that can be stopped easily if she stops everything and just says, I don't want to be part of any Somali drama. I'm done. Leave me alone. Goodbye.
She's not a part of any Somali drama. This isn't drama. This is legal shit. I'm sorry, but there has to be a line. There has to be a line that's clearly drawn for people on content creators and viewers in general, that there is a difference between drama and criminal charges being laid against somebody by another country. This is exactly, it's Imo. This is not fucking drama. So yeah, this is definitely, I would definitely argue this is witness intimidation. They're threatening her with violence. They're giving her, hey, look, all of this can be stopped. If she just says that's a quid pro quo. They're literally this for that. They are go give me this, and I will stop doing that. That's a problem. That's a serious problem.
See, they're trying to dox her and her family. They're trying to attack her.
Which is
They're
insane.
trying to make threats of violence against her and her family. And they're trying to say, hey, if you just don't testify, then we're going to leave you alone. That is classic witness intimidation, and this is incredibly aggravating in the eyes of Korea.
Absolutely.
Next is collecting evidence. So they're trying to collect evidence for Johnny's lawyer, whatever that means. But mainly what they're trying to do and what they think they can submit to court is evidence to shame her and make her look like a bozo. Essentially to shame her for her sexuality, shame her for being a woman. And they think that's actually going to work. They think that's actually going to be an effective tactic.
That's going to bury them. What the fuck?
It is not. And that is not going to go well.
Yeah,
and you can see here, this is from a show.
Oh my God. I cannot imagine the judge or the courts in general, looking at this and going, oh yeah, this was appropriate. Yeah, if anything, this is going to make your sentencing harsher. If this is your quote-unquote fucking evidence to support your this is, what are you trying to do? This is nothing more than character assassination. And courts do not look favorably on that kind of shit.
Oh, you see this highlight here. We gotta keep harassing her. The language is harass. So what they are trying... Oh my
God, Death and Goat, thank you so much for upgrading to Yarrow. Thank you so much.
To do is to spin...
Big bullets. Absolutely. Dumb drum. No, fucking... it's a organized group of bullies. It's finding a little anthill of them. It's so fucking weird.
in facts with lies to misportray her personal life interactions with Johnny in order to prevent her from testifying, or if she does testify, sexually shame her and portray her as a bozo. So they're trying to make her look bad. They're trying to sex shame her and make her look horrible. And that is not going to look well in the eyes of the prosecution and the judge when they're trying to intimidate a female witness who is literally on here and bringing a sex claim. And in fact, very much proves that Johnny needs to be punished severely for this. Because he is trying to sexually shame her. They're also trying to start a narrative that she is a vexatious litigant, which means they call it a suing streamer. So someone who sues everybody.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Evans 900, welcome. But they're trying to, oh my, you cannot. She's a suing, I hate this. I hate this so fucking much. Oh my God. Jesus fucking Christ.
But the irony of this is, this accusation isn't true of Bong Bong, it's true of Hank. It's true of the top ally of Johnny Somali, his roommate, his buddy, his possible lover, Han Jong-yu, that is here suing everybody, literally trying to sue everybody. In fact, Johnny, we're going to see himself, Ramzi Khalid Ismail, is trying to sue me. He's obsessed with trying to find any way to sue me at all possible. We're going to see that later on because I, of course, live rent-free in his head. They call her a B word here. You can see you're nothing but a jealous bee. They're trying to, intimidate her. They're trying to say the judge is going to laugh at you. They're trying to slut shame her. What's the judge and mommy going to say when they see?
Wait a minute. No, there's no wait. Wait. What's the judge going to say when he hears you? And Lamone, not to mention. Now what you doing? What's the judge gonna mama say? Just bit stretch roll subsequent video is gonna be funny. We're thrown back in your face when he'll do laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you? Are you serious? You've tried to go, they're all gonna laugh at you? On you? That's a fucking quote from Stephen King's Carrie, you maniac.
See what you do for a living. And they're also trying to say, oh yeah, you're not even attractive. I wouldn't even bork her. That says a lot. So look, they're trying to do that here. They're also trying to say that Johnny and her had sex, which in addition to saying that lying about their relationship, because Johnny, of course, lied that he was in a relationship with Bong Bong. Now he's trying to lie and say they had sex. And of course, once again, you see here that they're afraid of me. The LMMFs will send them all types of shit to Ford. They're trying to hide this stuff from me because they know I'm going to turn it over to police and the prosecution. And they're trying to look for evidence of her saying that they had sex, which of course doesn't exist. Also here you see they're afraid of me turning this stuff into a presentation. You see my presentation there at the bottom. Once again, I live completely rent-free in their heads. Also, they don't know anything about the Korean system. See, here they say, I heard they don't do cross-examination like in the U.S. That's absolutely wrong. They absolutely do cross-examination.
Why did they think that they don't do cross-examination? What, like, also I heard where did you hear that from? Because you could Google this. You could oh my god, thank you so much for the sticker. The sticker shows up weird, though. It's game over. For the 20 though, thank you, the 20 kroner. Oh, it's being done. Legal boogeyman. Send Ramsey to the cabbage fields, yeah, and me. Thank you, I already said to the upgrade membership. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. I'm not the GOAT, Death, you are the GOAT. And Death is the greatest of all time. You know, I mean, before anything else, there was Death. Okay. Let's continue here. He said doo-doo. He said the doo-doo word.
And the cross-examination will be withering. It will be a strong cross-examination that I very much look forward to. These guys are trying to get answers from Google or Grok as to the legal system in Korea.
Not even Google would say, oh yeah, Korea doesn't have cross-examination. I just Googled it. It says, yes, the Korean criminal justice system has cross-examination. So, like, I don't know where they're getting this shit from.
Yeah, and it's just silly. For example, here they say, in a video that they posted, so they saw this video or had somebody talking about how if a witness doesn't show up, the case is dropped. that is actually ridiculous because, in fact, when I was there, we had a case that was postponed an entire year. And I watched this case play out where there was a witness that hadn't showed up for a year and they kept postponing the trial date. So all that's going to happen if the witness doesn't show up is Johnny's going to have to stay there for longer. And Johnny's case and procedure is going to take longer. The only person who would suffer would be Johnny. And by the way, they have enough proof to prove Johnny guilty regardless of whether the witness shows up. But by the way, I personally have spoken directly to Bong Bong. Yes, after they created all these fake legal mindset accounts to try to confuse Bong Bong, confuse her server, I spoke to her personally. We had a good conversation. Nice. She will be showing up. She will be there. Nice. So all of this intimidation, all these things are not going to stop Bong Bong from being there. But it just shows how far these people are willing to go to try to shape.
Because that's the thing. Like, that's exactly what I was worried about, is these guys made all these legal mindset accounts in order to basically create a smokescreen to prevent Andrew from being able to reach out to any of the parties, like Bong Bong. Luckily, it looks like Andrew was able to punch right through that little smoke screen and fucking get in touch with her anyway. So that's super fucking awesome. Sofa RKA. Sofa.
Her. So once again here, you can see they are going and trying to compile evidence.
Yes, this is textbook witness intimidation. Absolutely. Topez, you are absolutely right.
To help Somali. Once again, he's on his Somali Epstein account. He also has Somali Diddy. That's another one. These guys are trying to lawyer this, yet none of them are Korean. None of them are lawyers. And they don't even understand what the defenses are to this. They're trying to say, oh, well, it's a defense because she posted it in her Discord. No, it's not. Not at all. It doesn't matter who else posted it or showed it. You showed it. That's what makes you guilty there, my friend. Source. You showed it and commercialized it. Yep. That makes you guilty. Even if they did it, absolutely. You can't do the na. They point the finger and say they did it too. The speeding allegation, I'm speeding.
Up against autism. Yeah, he's done. He's done. You thought autism was bad? Try autism. Autism is methamphetamine to Adderall, okay? Like, if it's bad enough to have autism, like, you're already gonna have a trouble going up against somebody like that because they have they have a very good ability to hyper-focus on shit. But if it's autism, dude, you're done. You're fucking cooked. I don't care who you are, you're absolute. Yeah, look at this. Destinal defense still posted in their Discord. Why would she not delete it? This is so brain dead. How is this even the case? Maybe because you're not a lawyer and you're not in Korea. So maybe you should stop talking about how this is a case or not if you don't even understand their process.
Get a ticket in my car. What about the guy who was doing more miles an hour than me? What about the other people that are speeding? That still doesn't get you out of the ticket. That still doesn't get you off. So that defense, I've already debunked that a lot. But that doesn't work. Another thing we have here is literally Johnny Somali himself, Somali Epstein, saying, I am guilty, find me. So he actually is doing two things. Number one, he is confessing to guilt. So we can use this and show, hey, he's confessing to guilt. He's guilty. He thinks he's just going to get a fine. He thinks the Korean justice system is a joke. Well, hey, let's prove it's not a joke. Let's show this to the judge. Let's show this to the prosecutor and make sure they understand that he wants a fine. So let's not give him a fine. Let's give him jail time on everything. Let's make sure everything is aggravated because they all think this is going to be fines. Johnny thinks it's going to be a fine. His fans think it's going to be a fine. Let's show him it's real jail time. Here they go. They're shit-talking Korea. They're shit-talking the process. And they're trying to say, hey, nothing's going to happen. Well, no, indeed, things are going to be happening in this. Also, they have this weird defense they come up with on this page and the next here, where they try to say that they didn't shut down the ride at Lotte World for 30 minutes and therefore they're innocent. Unfortunately for Johnny Somali, that's not how obstruction of business works. So Johnny Somali is charged with obstruction of business at Lotte World for shutting down a ride. Now, this ride was shut down for a significant amount of time. I'm not sure whether it was 30 minutes or not, but that's not relevant. The law doesn't read 30 minutes. The law reads if you disrupt the normal operations of a company you are liable for obstruction of business. So Johnny Somali
that's how it works.
indeed did disrupt the normal operations because the ride was not supposed to stop. And he did the same thing on the bus, where he stopped the bus from moving for a very short period of time, but that's enough, because just messing up one bus messes up the entire system, the entire timetable. It makes people late. That is a disruption of normal operations. So he already pled guilty to the fact that even 30 seconds or a minute of disruption of a business is guilty for obstruction of business.
Still, yes,
and
absolutely.
so him trying to plead not guilty in the Lotte world,
because at 30-minute this isn't like that stupid fucking wives' tale. Oh, if my professor in college is 15 minutes late, I'm legally allowed to go home. Dude, shut the fuck up. I don't, like, if you disrupt the business for any amount of time, there's not like a standard for like, oh, it has to be at least 15 or 20 minutes. No, it could be 5 seconds and you could be charged, realistically. So, yeah, this 30-minute defense is fucking hogwash.
case, because the ride wasn't shut down for long enough, literally goes in the face of his own pleading guilty for the bus, which he's already done, and he can't take back. He's already pled guilty to delaying operations of a bus and that being culpable, right? And now he's trying to say, oh, it's different because it's a amusement park ride. No, it's not. It's still obstruction. He's going to be fully guilty on this count, and once again probably get prison time for that. Also, he's trying to cover up the bong bong harassment. And why is he trying to cover it up? He's trying to hide it from Legal Mindset, from me. You can see here. Don't post in the general chat. I'm telling you. Legal Mindset is watching always. And Johnny Somali, Ramsey Khalid Ismail, confirms. He says, yeah, that's why I don't talk in there. So he's confirming that he is not talking because he is afraid of me. He's afraid of me big time when it comes to being
absolutely. Look. Big Brother is watching. So RKI, you best be fucking get busy hiding or get busy dying, cause Daddy Mindset's coming for you. I'm sorry, that's just so funny that he's living so rent free in his head that he's like, nah, I don't talk anywhere that is in the public. Legal Mindset's watching. He's in the walls. He's in the walls, guys. He's in the walls.
exposed when it comes to having potential issues. He is very, very afraid of things being exposed.
Hold on. I have a clip for this.
We'll put it that way.
Hold on, I have a clip for this. I have to do this. I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to actually look it up. Because I'm gonna download this one for sure. But I don't have it downloaded, so we had to do this.
Wazowski, you didn't file your paperwork last night.
Oh, that darn paperwork. Wouldn't it be easier
Okay,
if
so
it
what
all just blew away?
I want
Don't let it
what I'm
happen
gonna do.
again.
What I'm gonna do is 20 seconds I'm gonna have Mike Wazowski. He's gonna be Johnny Somali. It's gonna be Johnny Somali's face over Mike's face. And then it's gonna be Legal Mindset's face over the old lady.
You didn't file your paperwork last night.
Oh, that darn paperwork.
Somali, you didn't file your paperwork last night.
Wouldn't it be easier if it all just blew away?
Don't let it happen again.
Yes, well, I'll try to be less careless.
I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always
That
watching.
street beats so fucking good. It beats so fucking good. Like, oh my god. That would be like the best fucking. Oh my god, that would be such a good fucking meme. I gotta. You know what? Hold on. I gotta save this. There we go. I'm gonna download that later, but I'm gonna get that done. That's gonna be too good. Okay, let's continue.
That way. All right, let me make sure I'm sharing this again. All right, there we go. Okay, so that's where we're at here with this side. Also, sorry if there's any lag here, guys. I am on my travel setup, so, you know, I'm trying to get this fast facts out to you as fast as possible. Okay, here we go. So see here, they're deleting stuff off the general chat because Andrew is going to do a stream. They're afraid of me. They're trying to hide stuff from me. Once again, really crazy stuff. Also, harassment of Bongbong server. So they were going into Bongbong server with fake legal mindset profiles, pretending to be me, pretending to, you know, harass her, and sending information in there, trying to spam in there in her chat, trying to, you know, sex shame her. They've been doing that for quite a while. And it's been pretty consistent. So they've been violating Discord's terms of service by engaging in targeted harassment campaigns. They also have been trying to feed misinformation to me. I've talked about this over the past couple weeks. They've been trying to send emails to me, and they've been trying to, you know, kind of catfish me with information because they think that I am going to publish something that has not been vetted. But the truth is that I would never put out information that I've not talked to people about or made an attempt to verify. I'm not just going to open some random email and trust it immediately. That's dumb. I would not do that. So they're trying to do that. They're all
oh my god. Like, here's the thing too. Like, you guys know he's a lawyer. SSA. If anybody in your sphere is watching this, you know that Andrew is a lawyer. Why do you think sending him fucking bullshit emails is going to help? Do you know one of the most common things to do, like a strategy in litigation, is it's called a document dump. You basically throw so much at a law firm or a person in terms of just useless, irrelevant information that they become overwhelmed. It's classic. So a few of you guys writing fucking misinformation emails to LM, dude, he's gonna catch it a mile away and it's not even gonna slow him down. Again, we're used to having thousands, hundreds of thousands of documents foisted on us all at once because we're doing something that another company or another freaking, the Cara Council doesn't want us to do. So they fucking slow us down with useless shit like that. Your attempts to slow him down this way is just laughable. I'm saying right now, it's absolutely laughable.
Also trying to intimidate me and scare me and say they're going to have people come to get me in Thailand and they think I'm going to bug out and do weird shit. No, I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of little 5'2" Ramsey who's about the size of a girl and he can't even leave Korea. I'm not afraid of his basement dwelling, you know, 3 simps. Clearly, there's only like 2 or 3 people that are helping him here, which is kind of sad. I'm not afraid of any of these guys. They're in their grandmother's basement, probably looking worse than Hank and Somali combined. So yeah, I'm not intimidated by any of these guys, and they're not going to intimidate me in any way. They're also impersonating me. That's something they've been doing. They admit that they're having people go in acting like legal mindset, and they were only exposed. They were exposed almost immediately because she said, "Wait, prove that you're him," and they couldn't do it. So they're pretty dumb about that. They also are brigading my videos. They're going to report my videos for misinformation. They're using VPNs or using separate accounts to try to report me.
No fucking way.
And they're trying to come after me. Also, they admit that almost everybody in Johnny Somali's Discord is a lurker, spy, a Japanese person or Korean, which is hilarious. It means Johnny has no real fans. They're also trying to collect evidence of defamation against me. First of all, my reporting is public interest reporting, which is protected under Korean law. I'll show you that guy's law in a second. Also, you can only sue for defamation if you have a reputation to protect, but Johnny Somali has no reputation to protect. His reputation is 0. It is horse trash. Therefore, there is nothing for him to actually...
I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to laugh. So he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. You can't damage reputation that's already in the ditch, man. It's like, I'm like, oh my god, that's fucking brutal. But absolutely accurate.
Protect because it's in the gutter and that is completely his fault.
my God.
They've been, you can
That's
see
funny.
here, they're trying to collect more defamation. You can see here the Korean law for justification, which allows true facts that are solely for public interest
Yeah.
to be justified, so it's not defamation. I've talked to several lawyers, real lawyers,
in the public
and they have all
interest,
said,
and so
yep,
it's
this
okay,
is
and
clearly
it's true
public
facts.
interest, you're protected, so there's no defamation there. They're also trying to say that I doxed the lawyer by saying his name. This is kind of hilarious because they're trying to say I exposed his personal information. Well, guess what? Your name is not personal information. Personal information are
Yeah,
things like
it's
your
not.
home address or your personal.
So, he's absolutely right, and this is something that I think a lot of people have to understand. That just doxing your name is not doxing. Not according to most statutes that criminalize such efforts, right? California, Georgia, Texas, Florida, they all have slightly different definitions of what constitutes criminal doxing, but just leaking somebody's name, saying somebody's name is not enough. There's a lot of people, they share names. If I look up my name on Google, I get like 2.3 million results, and guess what? I'm only on like 2 of those fucking hits. So, no, absolutely not. The name is all, well, again, public is, it doesn't matter, but doxing is uniquely identifying information. Okay, so that means a physical home address, a phone number, credit card information, your social security number, stuff like that, medical information, like stuff that the DMV will ask you for to identify yourself with. If it's that kind of information, be it your address, your phone number, all that shit, then yes, it's uniquely identifying. It can be used to find you as a person beyond just your name, and therefore it's doxing. Public doesn't matter. If the information is public, there's a lot of states that actually define doxing as the republication of private or public information to a new audience with intent to cause harm. So it actually has more to do with intent, whether or not the information was public already, and the fact that they are publicizing it to an audience that wouldn't already have easy access to it. And they're doing it with obvious intent to cause harm. So yeah, there's no, like, this doesn't even get close to any definition of doxing. And they keep using fucking AI overview. They really need to stop doing that. AI is not good at fucking, like, figuring out the law, especially Gemini. Gemini is absolute shit. I cannot believe you are relying on it.
Phone number, not your work phone number, your personal phone number. If you market yourself as a lawyer, your full name, and you put your name out there publicly, which this guy does. He does put himself out there publicly. He puts his name on his firm website. He's gone into court and publicly said his name. He's filed his name publicly with the court. His name is not private information. So them trying to attack me and sue me on that, it does nothing. It's not a claim at all. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right here is very funny. They actually said, oh, there's not going to be a charge for obstruction from Lotte World. This is right before I revealed there was going to be this is right after I revealed there was going to be a charge coming from Lotte World. And they said, no way, it's not going to happen. This guy's dumb. He's not 3 steps ahead. Well, guess what? I was 100% right.
Yes.
I was 100% proven right about the charges from Lotte World. Also, we have a proof here that Johnny was mad, right? And all he was trying to say here, he was trying to say, hey, don't show them you're mad, Johnny. Well, guess what? We know. We all now know. All hundreds of thousands, millions of us are going to know that Johnny Somali was big mad, and that we are going to talk about that and expose that and have lots of fun doing it. Much more fun than Johnny is having in Hank's apartment. And last but not least, we got here the message, now I can say we're all trusted. So literally this is the biggest irony, because somebody from this chat leaked everything to me. And you see right here, good work, FLM, thank you so much. So once again, I live rent-free in Johnny Somali's head as the number1 opposition. Couldn't love it more. And if you guys love this video, make sure to smash the like button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious. So I know a lot of my Hold on, give me a second. I know a lot of my audience actually comes from legal mindset, so this is probably a little probably a little redundant, but please don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button on this button on this video. It's absolutely perfect, and it just shows just how red-free legal mindset truly is. Living in the Good's head. There you go, there's a link. Everybody enjoy. Please, please, give it love. Give the video the love that it deserves. It was posted 5 days ago. It's likely who Arcane would least expect. I'm betting. What do you think it is? Actually, don't tell me. Don't tell me, like, if you have an idea of who it might be, DM it to me. But I don't want to... I'm curious, but I'm not curious enough to have it on my stream. You know, everybody, you know, we have to be careful. Because apparently, Legal Mindset is always watching. Which means RKA is always watching. Everybody is always watching. Every bit, all of the time. Okay, let's do this. Okay. So the next, well, ooh, maybe not. Hold on. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's quite a title. That is quite a fucking title. Just looking through a couple different videos here and deciding what would be best for the next one. Actually, you know what? This one is good. So this is from Bellular News. 4 days ago. The judge was ruthless, now gaming will change. This was sent to me by a number of people, and it was suggested that I watch it on stream, so we can kind of get a good idea of what's going on here. But this video opens up basically saying that this is going to change. I mean, in how gaming is done. So we're gonna check it out. Arkia is basically trying to get into internet slap fights with a lawyer. That should go well. Yeah, exactly, Dylan. I can't believe it's happening. Does that mean you're watching me while I poop? Sick. No, I don't watch people while they poop. Surprisingly, I don't use my omnipotence to be a fucking creep. Style Mile, welcome to the chat. Oh yeah, I saw that it's really good news. Oh, it's good news. Okay, that's good. That's right. Let's see what's going on then.
More than almost anything we talk about on the channel, today's story is actually going to tangibly impact you. So, for 5 years, there's been a battle waging at the highest levels of the games industry. It's massive, it's between Apple, it's between Epic, and it's around the principle of fairness. And the big news today is that Apple just lost. But they didn't lose because Epic Games outmaneuvered them or any kind of insane gigabrain play from Tim Sweeney. No, they lost because, in the words of the judge presiding over this decision, Apple leadership, quote, outright lied under oath, and in deciding not to comply with legal injunctions, Tim Cook, quote, chose poorly. It's an ominous thing for a judge to be saying to you.
Jesus
this,
Christ.
though, is a dramatic case. It has impacts that will reverberate across the entire games industry, and honestly, far wider than that, meaning it truly will impact everyone who watches this video. Here's how all this started. So, Tim Sweeney is a man on a mission, and it's a mission that's cost him and his company more than $1 billion over the last 5 years. It's fair to say that he's pretty committed. Now, 5 years ago is when he decided that Apple and Google's exclusive storefronts on their mobile platforms were in fact unreasonable monopolies. In his opinion, essentially, he says that they don't earn their 30% fee. Rather, they impose it, and that because of that, they're restricting how developers could make money and what sort of deals that they could actually offer to consumers. So what he decided to do was force their hand.
Okay. Justin, good job for recognizing that was a Bo Burnham line. I did not think anybody here would actually get that or call it out, so, like, kudos. Please, brownie points to Justin. That was amazing. I did not expect anybody to catch that.
He started something called Project Liberty, and here's how it worked. Fortnite suddenly got an option where users could buy currency directly from Epic, right? Directly, not through your Apple payment or Google payment thing. That, of course, meant that Apple and Google immediately booted Fortnite because it did break their store policies. And this is exactly what Tim Sweeney actually wanted. He wanted his game to be kicked off. And we pretty much know that because Epic immediately...
Oh my god, he debated him! He fucking said, go ahead, take me off so that this is clearly a monopoly. Oh, damn. Fucking, dude, 4D fucking chess move. 4D fucking chess move, that was amazing.
Immediately filed lawsuits that they had been preparing, and these were designed to force the stores to change those policies. Now, in the case of Google, it actually went so much better than any of us could have expected. Evidence actually emerged that certain developers like Activision had been paid not to rock the boat, and that they deleted documents and were broadly proven to have acted unfairly. They lost on all counts as determined by a jury. The platform has opened up to new stores, and Google have appealed. It was a complete win for Epic, but their fight against Apple is an entirely different story. Things have begun to look quite bad for Epic. You see, the outcome of that initial trial, the original one, was an almost complete defeat for Epic Games. They basically could not prove being the emphasis word there, that any kind of monopoly or unfair action was going on. But there was one exception. An injunction was placed against Apple, and this was to end anti-steering provisions. You might think, what is anti-steering? Well, it's actually pretty simple. So basically, it meant that Apple could no longer prevent developers from directing users to make purchases outside of the store. So basically, steering the customer somewhere else. So as an example, that would be buying V-Bucks in Fortnite through a web client rather than through Apple's purchasing system, which would thus avoid Apple's 30% cut. Now, at the time, the judge said that Apple should be entitled to something, but that they can't force people to use their in-app purchase systems. Apple then spent 3 years appealing, and, you know, it's Apple, they can afford lawyers, but they really got nowhere on that front. And this is when that same judge came back and filed a new injunction against Apple for their behavior in the last 3 years. And this one truly is remarkable, and depending on how things shake out, there could even be a criminal component. It's quite wild. So, it wasn't just for a lack of compliance with the original order, but for contempt of court, which is usually frowned upon. So much so that they've been referred to the US Attorney's Office to consider criminal contempt proceedings. That would be dramatic.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? They found Apple in contempt? Holy shit!
The judge essentially was not pleased that Apple implemented new costly fees around off-app purchases, where basically they were effectively replacing one anti-competitive process with another, meaning of course, you know, devs lose, but also us customers lose. And while they were doing all that, they were also misleading the court over what they were doing. Here's a quote. That it thought this court would tolerate such insubordination was a gross miscalculation. As always, the cover-up made it worse. For this court, there is no second bite of the apple. Yeah, GG, Judge. Quite the zinger. So she laid out then some clear rules. These are practices that Apple are banned from. Number 1, imposing a fee on purchases made outside an app. That means that they have no reason, therefore, to track those purchases, the ones made outside an app. Ban number 2, setting conditions on how devs can direct users outside of an app, including restricting how links work. Basically, you know those design anti-patterns that are just trying to get you, the consumer, to clearly do something by, you know, making a link look weird or a misleading design, that sort of thing. Third, banning certain types of app from directing users to outside purchases. And finally, using, quote, emotive language to persuade consumers to remain in the in-store purchase system. Basically scaring people who don't know better, and, well, we've actually seen Apple do similar things, saying you can go and make a purchase, not using the App Store, but, you know, the App Store is very secure and very safe, which, to an average person who's not tech savvy, could basically look like it's Apple saying, hey, you could get scammed if you don't click this link. P.S. This link gets us lots of money too. And of course the reason why these things are banned is, well, because Apple had been doing all of these things. That's what's led to this whole case. Now in response, they have now began complying and appealing. It'll be interesting to see how malicious their compliance is. I imagine it will be as malicious as is humanly possible without getting in even more trouble. But all of this is happening while the rest of the industry is licking its lips. Some developers already had updates to go in this. Spotify were a major one. They framed this as a huge consumer win, which in fairness I would say it absolutely is. Now we can do insane things like manage our subscriptions in an app. We can use different payment options, and we can see costs. You can now buy Kindle books in the Kindle app. Patreon memberships are no longer marked up in iOS to counteract the store tax, and lots of things.
And this is good for him right now, but it's only good through the appeal process. If it's appealed, everything goes back to normal. But if they go through all of their appeals, right? And they get up to the Supreme Court, then obviously this will set precedent, and then this is just how things have to happen. But it's a win. It's a definite W. But it's not this is going to change up. It has the potential to, but it hasn't yet. Because that appeal process has to be completed first. And hopefully there's no court that decides to be retarded and fucking overturn this injunction.
But of course, let's bring it back to Tim Sweeney and Epic Games. So, the Epic Games Store mobile version already existed as of last year, but now they are really ramping things up. Within a week of the ruling, Epic announced their web store fee would drop to 0% for your first million in revenue, with that starting this June. That's obviously pretty awesome if you're a dev. Plus, much like they have done with the Epic Online Services stuff, what they've done with the store is they've built a solution that people can use regardless of platform. So,
yeah,
Google,
it's not over
Apple,
for sure.
More than
Devil
that,
Advocate for the 5, thank you so much. It says, this makes me wish... Hold on, there we go. This makes me wish the App Store Freedom Act would make it out of committee in Congress, but it's probably going to die there. Yeah, oh God. Yeah, I'm frustrated with Congress for a number of reasons. That's one of them, for sure.
To be the literal Epic Games Store. That's because web shops can basically run on their infrastructure, and that will let any developer go outside Apple's payment system with no fuss. Yes, Tim Sweeney's definitely taken this one personal, and you know what? I'm here for the drama. Anyway, it is great for devs, but players are also being incentivized here, where you're going to get 5% reward points through purchases on those shops and the Epic Games Store, but that's boosted to 20% until the end of August. So that essentially is the big clap back against Apple. But there is the other thing, the Fortnite. So Tim Sweeney has proposed that Fortnite can return to app stores within weeks, super quick, provided Apple allows them to do so. He also said he'll drop all litigation as part of a peace plan, provided Apple roll out this policy worldwide. And instead, as of the time of writing and recording this video, Apple have, went and blocked the Fortnite
and they're
submission.
restored.
Now, of course, all of this legal maneuvering so far is only in the US. The current policy implementation on Apple's side only applies in that region right now. Fortunately, though, for those of us benefiting from EU rules, we've already had some things for months already, and Apple can't stop it. An absolute bomb was dropped in the industry in March of this year when both Google and Apple were found to be in breach of the Digital Markets Act by the EU Commission.
Right, okay, yeah.
This is pretty damn big stuff. They can absolutely sting these companies. So with Google, it was for anti-steering practices, and Apple was for blocking third parties from interfacing with their systems. Now this follows last August.
Locking them out. Yeah,
told you we'd come back to that. Ruling that Apple had to open their platform up to alternative stores, and another breach from Apple in April of this year, also on steering. Now, in that last case, they also faced a cool little €500 million fine for what was absolutely flagrant breaches of the law. Apple are obviously appealing because that's what you do when you're a company, but there's a clear thing, there's a clear trend. The tide is absolutely shifting. Now, it's not going to happen in all regions, but we are seeing regulation over major platforms to protect consumer interests from companies who otherwise would control them. So between that and, I guess, a billionaire slap fight led by Tim Sweeney, well, look, we should take these wins when we can get them.
Long before
Not to bring up an old drama, and it is a bit of a
that.
different story, but I suppose a little bit like how Hulk Hogan versus Gawker was, in fact, Peter Thiel versus Gawker. This is all kind of billionaire slap fights. Now, the thing with Tim Sweeney, right? He does have good principles. There are good principles that he talks about, right? And yes, it's good he's trying to hold Apple to those, but that does not make Tim Sweeney automatically on your side. Sometimes it just so happens that we're aiming at the same target. Now, he will end up benefiting from this massively, and in a financial way. And of course, that's because his company is the one building the wraparound solutions that power these out-of-app purchases. And that's really big. And that means that we can appreciate the consumer good that this does. We absolutely can. And the work that the regulators are doing to break down these walled gardens. And in an ideal world, right, once the walled garden is so big and so ubiquitous, you might have to, restrict the freedom of Apple to go and run a monopoly, because not only will it be good for consumers, it will also be good for competition. But I also do think, Standard Oil gets broken up. Who's left with the money to gobble up all the assets? Oh, pretty much the same people. So there's always that thing then where you can have these good pro-consumer regulations, but it's the incumbents with the resources who are immediately able to get around them or exploit the new opportunity. And Epic Games basically, doing its store as a backend to do payment providing for everybody else, well, while it is good because it means there is more competition, it also does disproportionately benefit Tim Sweeney. So, Tim Sweeney, you know what? You have led to a domino of events that I think is absolutely good for consumers, and I think it's good for developers. But that does not mean we will not be critical of you. And on the topic of the good guys being, let's just say, a little bit rumbly, okay, we have to talk about Capcom, and the good news...
No, we're good on that. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like that little thing at the end was a little like, oh, hey, you're still a bad guy, even though this is a good thing that you've done. You're doing it for bad reasons. I'm watching you. Like, dude, can we just enjoy when something good has happened and hate when something bad has happened instead of applying so much cynicism to everything? Like, I'm just saying, it gets a little... It's like, you can't just hand somebody a W, can you? You have to fucking slide the L under the W. Now, how about just give them the W, let them enjoy it, and if they fuck up, slap them with the L later. It's a good to keep in mind, sure, but honestly, it's a good thing to keep in mind. It's not a good thing to say all the time. There. Let's keep that one in mind. Alright, so, speaking of, because it was showing a lot of Star Wars shit there. Elfpire, people are so angry about Tim Sweeney trying to take down Steam. Nah, it's okay to mention Tim Sweeney is in fact a scumbag. Maybe people want to... Fine, but if I'm looking at, Tim Sweeney W here, then I'm going to focus on that, and if I want to find out about all the bullshit that he's done, I'll fucking look that up on my own time. It's not up to the journalists to go, hey, this is a good thing he did, but he's still kind of a piece of shit. But yeah, this is good. I'm saying that was inappropriate, in my opinion, and I'm gonna stand by that opinion. That being said, let's move on to the next video. Okay, let's see here. Who killed the Colorado River? I'm going to guess California. Sorry. Okay, let's see here, though. This is by PBS Terra. We'll go ahead and open this up. Hopefully PBS isn't a dick. And copyright IDs it, but we're gonna watch it. Yeah, well, that's just like, your opinion, Elf. But this is called, Who Killed the Colorado River? And it starts out in Sonora, Mexico, which I have been in before, and that is, I believe, where the Colorado River ends.
Well, I hate to break it to you folks. This is the Colorado River. At least what's left of it. Where did all the water go?
God damn.
feels like Arrakis, not a river.
It's time to solve the case. Who killed the Colorado River? The Colorado River. For centuries, it's been the lifeblood of the American Southwest, carving canyons and bringing life to an arid land. A river so vast, it could fill 300 million Olympic-sized swimming pools each year.
Holy shit.
Born in the snow-capped
That's a lot.
Rocky Mountains of Colorado, the Colorado River traces a spectacular
Okay,
course
so
through
to
5
be
years.
fair, again, there you go. It shows where the river goes right here. So we're gonna. There we go. There you can see my cursor. So this is where the Colorado's river pretty much starts, goes down here, through into Utah, through parts of Arizona, through parts of Nevada, Southern California, and then into Mexico. Now it ends in Sonora, Mexico, which is down here. The problem is, California especially, I believe, has done a lot to reduce the flow of, like, by the time the water gets down here, California and Arizona, I think both, but more so California, is taking a lion's share of the water that's left down here. And then by the time you get down here to Sonora, Mexico, there's nothing left. But if you were, and that's where the video opened, but if you were to go all the way over here, you know, you would see a nice fucking lush river. It's fine all the way over here. But once it gets down here is when shit starts to get a little weird. And then when you're down here, it's pretty much non-existent.
U.S. states, carving its way through 1,450 miles of rugged western landscape before emptying into the Gulf of California and Mexico. At least, that's how it's supposed to work. This is the delta where the Colorado River meets the ocean, or rather, what's left of it. Since the early 1960s, one of America's great waterways almost never actually reaches the sea.
Right now, this is the original riverbed of the Colorado River. It used to be a forest. And if you look back south,
Oh my God.
70 miles, you'll reach eventually the delta, the original delta, and the upper Gulf of California.
Where this river used to flow.
It used to flow and connect there and create another great ecosystem of marshes, estuarine ecosystems. Puerto Tuava, Vaquita, and many species flourish in this space, which no longer exists.
The Colorado is part of a troubling global trend. The Yellow River in China, the Indus River. More and more rivers around the world are drying up before they reach their final destination. Rivers flow to the sea. That's their whole deal.
What happened?
What will happen?
So here's the problem.
Yeah.
In recent times, around 4 trillion gallons of water flow through the Colorado River
That's a
every
lot.
year. But we're allowed to take out around 5 trillion gallons of water every year. Now, I'm no mathematician, but that doesn't add up.
That's
so
not
where is
good.
it all going? Well, to solve this mystery, we need to go on a hunt for some suspects. And our first stop takes us back to 1922.
Okay.
Representatives from 7 southwestern states gathered in a Santa Fe mountain retreat to divvy up the Colorado River's water. The result
way.
was the Colorado River Compact, an agreement for who
Okay.
gets water and how much. Their goal was clear: help settlers gain a foothold through irrigation and development. In doing so, they were deciding the fate of a river.
Notably absent from that meeting, Mexico, despite sharing this river with the United States, and not a single representative from the
Oh.
Native American tribes who have long called
I
this region
see.
home.
Okay, I see
And
what's
almost
going on.
no consideration for the river itself, or the ecosystems and wildlife that depended on it.
Yeah,
Here's the
that was
thing.
probably a
They
compact made in poor
overestimated
taste.
the river's flow and ignored warnings about future water shortages. The Colorado Compact divvied up 15 million acre-feet of water every year, based on an assumed annual flow of 16.4 million acre-feet. Just one problem. The river's actual flow in recent decades has averaged just 12.4 million acre-feet each year,
quite a bit less.
leading to a situation where we're promising far more water than the river can actually deliver.
Yeah,
so the Colorado Compact was less of a master plan and more of a disaster plan.
Yeah, okay.
That's our first suspect, short-sighted water management. But the plot thickens.
I mean, yeah, makes sense.
It's time to meet our second suspect.
By the way,
This is the Imperial Dam.
God damn it, California! Fucking down! Jesus, here we are, by state, just fucking ruining the world. Look at that dam. Look at that. Oh, Jesus. God damn it.
Completed in 1938. It wasn't the first, and it certainly wasn't the last. Between 1905 and 1970, 15 major dams were built along the Colorado River.
Okay, I'm fine.
These river fortresses provide flood control, hydroelectricity, and a steady water supply for millions. But
all this control comes at a cost. These dams have not only significantly altered the river's course, they have altered entire ecosystems.
But more significantly, 11% of the river's flow evaporates every year in the reservoirs. That's a lot of water evaporating into thin air in a region where every drop is like liquid gold. The vast surface area of these reservoirs exposes more water to the air than a flowing river would. Plus, the still water in these reservoirs gives the sun
Okay, you know what? It's fair. Look, Style is extremely true, and in observation of this amazingly legal fact, what can I do something while watching this?
Time to work its evaporative magic, unlike in a fast-moving river.
Okay, we've got outdated water laws and thirsty dams, but this water mystery is far from over. It's time to meet our next suspect. This may look like a giant lazy river at an amusement park or something, and honestly, right now I kind of wish it was one, but this is actually suspect number 3 in who killed the Colorado River, the Central Arizona Project.
Okay, cool. So, California is not by itself and destroying the Colorado River. That makes me feel a little bit better, but California is still involved.
Picture this, a massive canal system stretching over 330 miles, gulping down nearly 1 trillion gallons of water from the Colorado River.
That's too much. What are you doing?
This thirst-quenching marvel is like a giant straw sucking up water on behalf of cities like Phoenix, which is more than 70 miles to the east, holding more than 1.6 million humans who are thirsty, and so are their lawns and golf courses.
Jesus
And like
Christ.
a straw, this water doesn't flow downhill. No, it's pushed uphill by 14 pumping plants, climbing nearly 3,000 vertical feet along its path.
Holy shit!
That's 2.5 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of each other.
You're
And
just
Arizona's not the
pumping
only
water
one
uphill?
sipping from this river cocktail.
What
Los
the
Angeles, Denver, Albuquerque, and Salt Lake City are all taking their fair share too. In fact, cities and industry are responsible for slurping up 18% of all the water consumed from the Colorado.
You might think that millions of people living in and around some of the driest land in North America would cause some problems with water. But apparently this is not obvious at all. All right, we've seen how dams and canals are siphoning off this river, but there's more to this story. I think our next stop might surprise you.
What's next?
This oasis in the desert is one of many wetland areas near Yuma, Arizona. It is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also suspect number 4.
You can't
Wetlands
blame
like this.
wetlands? What? I'm sorry, what? Say man-made wetlands if they're man-made wetlands, but you can't blame nature fuck killing the Colorado River. That's not how this fucking works.
Are a bustling metropolis of flora and fauna. They prove there's more to this river than just quenching our human thirsts. But these lush green oases are also secret water guzzlers. Believe it or not, a whopping 19% of all water consumed from the Colorado gets taken up by these river ecosystems. Nature, it turns out, is pretty thirsty too. That's a lot of water.
Fuck you.
But these wetlands are also the unsung heroes of the Colorado River. These natural areas are like nature's Swiss Army knife. They're flood control experts, soaking up excess water like a sponge. They also purify the water as it flows through. And they are biodiversity hotspots for migrating birds, as well as mammals and invertebrates. So while these wetlands may be thirsty customers, they are working overtime to keep the whole ecosystem in balance.
So we've seen how cities, dams, even wetlands are draining the Colorado River. But we are about to meet our heavyweight champion of water consumption. Our #1 most wanted when it comes to draining a river dry.
And I don't mean like water
It might
Nazis.
make you think twice about what's on your plate.
1930s political party Nazis.
Welcome to the Imperial Valley of California. Here we go. Our prime suspect in the case of the vanishing.
Yep. I knew it. Prime suspect. God damn it. God fucking damn it. Yeah, Imperial Valley, California. Is that was the one I was thinking of. When it comes to like the most impactful, I think this is it.
Colorado River. It's not just the Imperial Valley, but what happens here is a perfect example of how agriculture, at least the way that we do it now, is drinking our rivers dry.
These green seas in the middle of the desert gulp down 52% of the Colorado's water.
Fuck!
That's right, more than half of the river's water goes to agriculture.
Jesus Christ, I'm gonna be sick.
Now you might be thinking we're looking at fruits and vegetables destined for your dinner table. But here's the twist. Most of what you're seeing isn't for us at all.
This is alfalfa, one of the thirstiest crops out there. And this is not for feeding humans. This is for feeding cows.
Oh, God damn it!
We are using most of our precious river water to essentially grow steaks and hamburgers.
And oh my
about
God,
20% of this alfalfa is shipped overseas to places like the Middle East and Asia. So in essence, we're taking our already scarce river water resources and exporting them in the form of cattle feed.
And this isn't just about thirsty crops. It's also about a use it or lose it water rights system. Farmers who don't use their full water allotment risk losing those rights in the future. So we end up with wasteful water practices like flood irrigation, where fields are essentially submerged just to ensure those water rights aren't lost. It incentivizes using every drop, whether it's needed or not. In a region where water's becoming increasingly scarce, this outdated policy is like leaving the tap running full blast in the middle of a drought. And all that wasted water has had some weird effects.
Exhibit A, the Salton Sea.
Oh no, not the Salton Sea.
This massive body of water that you see behind me, it should be a dry lake bed, but instead it's filled with agricultural runoff from the Colorado River. So who killed the Colorado River? The truth is there's no single culprit. It's a perfect storm of outdated water laws, dams, urban development, nature itself, and of course our prime suspect, agriculture. So it's no wonder that by the time the Colorado River reaches Mexico, it's nearly dry. But this story is not over. There are some bright spots, or green spots.
Back on the Mexican side of the border, today we see dry, cracked earth, where there was once a broad river delta that supported rich marshlands and forest ecosystems. But a dedicated team of environmental organizations has been working hard to restore pieces of this landscape to what they once were. Through binational agreements, they've secured regular water releases into the delta area where this river once flowed into the sea. This careful management is bringing life back to areas once thought lost.
So if you are outside in the desert, you can see dunes or dry landscape like in the Mad Max movie. It's really dry, no vegetation. And when you come here inside the forest, you feel really different. It's a fresh place. You can
That's pretty cool.
hear the birds. You can smell plants. You can smell flowers. You can have the shadow of the trees. Oh, it's amazing.
This dramatic transformation is also having a measurable impact on local wildlife.
The group of birds are good indicators of health of the ecosystems and the health of the restoration
Matsville
sites.
on the border.
So we're monitoring
That actually
periodically
sounds like a pretty good movie name.
the abundance and the diversity of the rivers. When we compare restored sites with non-restored sites, we can see that there are 70% more birds and there is 30% more bird diversity in these sites.
We record and saw a lot of animals here, from the beaver, the bobcat, coyote, raccoons. So it's a lot of species that we saw here.
The success of these restoration efforts is challenging local perceptions about what's possible in this region.
The people actually think that no water is the natural condition because they have no record of that ancient times.
With just few drops of water, you can generate a forest like this.
While the Colorado River still faces significant challenges, these restoration efforts offer a glimmer of hope for the future.
It's been almost 100 years
Life
since the river
finds a
doesn't
way.
flow here naturally in Mexico into the delta. In the desert like this, the life depends on the water, so that's why you can hear it. You put some
To
water
make
in,
me
this is
vomit.
what you can do.
For me, all this work, all this restoration is important because we are recovering something that we lost in the past. It's a river crossing the desert. If you do not have that, maybe you miss all the benefits, all the beauty that the Colorado River brings to this area.
It's about so much more than just saving a river. It's a reminder to reconsider our entire relationship with water
Makes sense.
in this changing world.
The Colorado's story isn't over. It's evolving. And with continued effort and cooperation, maybe one day, the mighty Colorado River will reach the sea once again.
That would be pretty cool.
Hey, before you go...
No. Sorry. Hey, before you go, no. No, not doing it. Not doing it. Can't make me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, let's see here. I did the code 2 weeks ago. Okay, we have... Okay, yeah, we're not gonna watch that one. No, we are gonna watch this one. Yeah, this one. This one is called Love for Our... Oh, the voices will not stop. Suili, you might have said. Oh, what the fuck? More likely you'll oh, whoa, hey, yo, calm down. Calm down. Blech. You lost it? Did you check? Lost and found? Never. So Sahara needs to keep being dry to not wake up the old ones sitting under. Yeah, it's true. It's true. If they get too much water, they'll wake up and then we all die. We fucking all die. Anyway. This is... Disney just sued YouTube. This is by Clownfish TV, posted 9 days ago. Disney is allegedly suing YouTube over them poaching one of their digital streaming executives to run YouTube's live sports. Hulu and Disney Plus is basically competing directly with YouTube for live TV and live sports at this point, and this could get very ugly. So let's go ahead and put place what's going on. Any commentary on the Nick Rekieta video transcripts? If those who are interested in my commentary regarding the video transcript for Nicholas Robert Rekieta's body cam footage, give me 1 second. Because we actually went over the both sets of notes with MommaOcco on her stream the other day. So let me bring that up real quick. We MommaOcco with the live. And here we are. So it's just you are mentioned. Oh, geez, I hate hearing my name. I made my voice. God damn it. I hate that so much. Okay, here. With such chat, here you go. For those who are interested in those, us reacting to those notes, though, there it is. It's the first hour or so. Anyway, welcome to Yarrow Justin Parrish. Thank you so much. We are going to go ahead. I would have preferred to see the actual Rekieta footage. The transcript is not official. Yeah, I've seen a couple pictures from the body cam footage, supposedly. I don't know. We're gonna have, there's a lot to look into and see. Put in your transcript, it's still bad. I mean, it's all bad. Like, regardless, I mean, the fact the arrest happened is bad enough. Anyway, Disney is apparently suing YouTube. Let's see what the fuck is going on there.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am not here with Geeky Sparkle. She's out and about today, but we're going to talk about how Disney is suing YouTube. Do they think that's smart?
For talent poaching. That's interesting.
Disney is going to sue Google. Is there anybody who's not suing Google these days? A lot of companies trying to sue Google, but this is over a guy who left Disney for YouTube. And it's getting pretty wild. And we're going to talk about this because Disney and YouTube are technically competitors, right? Like, yeah. I never thought we would kind of be here, but I mean, I guess all the warning signs were there. They've been building this for a while. Disney Plus is basically a competitor to YouTube now, and they don't want this guy jumping over to YouTube and giving them any inside information on Disney Plus or, you know, helping YouTube out Disney, which could happen. And again, we're dealing with, you know, live TV now, and that's a big part of Disney's bread and butter is Hulu with live TV, and YouTube also offers that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this one plays out.
I see.
We're going to talk about, before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and
no, this is going to be interesting because, and I think is actually the decision was paused or reversed or something, or it's in the books or whatever. But I do know that non-compete clauses, for a time, it looked like non-compete clauses weren't going to be a thing anymore. That would be court enforceable. And if that's the case, then this guy leaving Disney to go for YouTube isn't technically, like, I don't see the recourse here. But we're gonna have to see.
Ants, guys, no woohoos. No. Okay, a little woohoo. There you go. There's your woohoo. Yeah, so Disney versus YouTube, the fight for talent heads back to court. We're gonna look at the LA Times. We're gonna look at Variety. I am going to show you a little bit of the backstory here, just to give you an idea of where Disney and YouTube are. Now, according to courts, this changes. They're saying YouTube, now this is on TV. YouTube is the most watched streaming service, and they're considering YouTube a streaming service now, which is weird because it's either a social media site or a streaming service, depending on who you ask.
No, it's both. You have the social media, the social media platform that is YouTube, creating videos and stuff like that, but there is no actual direct way to talk to one another. I cannot talk to Clownfish TV. I cannot. YouTube DM stopped being a thing a long time ago. And other than community posts, there's not really any way to talk directly to another person. There's not really enough there to be a social media platform. But what YouTube does have on top of all the user-generated content is they have YouTube Max, and they have movies and stuff for rent, like much like Netflix does and shit like that. Like you can rent and watch and view entire freaking series and TV shows and stuff without a problem. That's YouTube does that for you without a problem. But beyond user-generated videos, there's not really a whole lot of interaction in a way that would make it a social media platform to me.
But it's the most watched thing on TV.
Live chat. I think it is part of it, sure, but there's also like I cannot right click and I could not actually open up like on Twitch or something, right? Twitch Whispers or whatever. I cannot right click your name, Jody, and send you a personal message and like actually communicate with you one-to-one. There's no platform, there's no ability for me to do that. Sure, I can do this as a group, but it's limited to me actually seeing what you type in chat, not like, yeah, it's social, it's a social streaming platform. That makes sense, yeah. But it's YouTube actually has the rights, and so like I could go right now. Let me see here. Real quick. Videos and comments themselves are social media. Yeah, that's true. That is true. It's just YouTube as a social media platform is missing several things that make it a social media platform to me. Delayed reaction, I'm just learning YouTube had a DM system. We used to. Yeah, it used to. I don't remember those sounds. I was too young. I never used it, but I do remember. I do remember something that I tried to use once, but decided not to because it was super cringe. But does anybody remember YouTube response videos? You used to be able to actually go into, like, you watch a video, and you could actually click a button, and it would say respond to video, and then you could actually record a direct response and upload it under the video as your response, like using your webcam and stuff. It was wild. It was wild times. But I do remember that. That old times.
Disney would be number 2, and that would include Hulu. Hulu is a big part of that for them. And then
Hulu,
after that, we have Fox, right?
Okay.
And they're starting another streaming service. I also want to bring this up too. This is some inside baseball. This is some backstory. Disney effectively tried to buy.
Guys, YouTube turns 20 this year. Remember that.
YouTube 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and they couldn't afford YouTube. So what they did is they bought Maker Studios. Maker Studios was the biggest MCN network at the time. All the big YouTubers were with Maker Studios, and a lot of other people that weren't that big.
Okay, I remember that.
They were making a lot of money and get brand deals and stuff through Maker. PewDiePie was part of it. Markiplier was part of it.
Yeah,
and what Disney thought they would do is, well, if we can't buy YouTube, we'll buy the most influential YouTubers by proxy by buying Maker, but they didn't know what they're buying. They basically, and this kind of kicked off one of the apocalypse scenarios with PewDiePie, was they effectively bought the network that had PewDiePie in it, did not realize PewDiePie was making Nazi jokes or whatever he was doing, right? They did not realize that a lot of this content was edgy. They did not realize that these people were not like Disney stars. They weren't like doing anything that Disney could turn into IP. They were trying. They're trying to like do Disney Plus shows,
I remember
or
that's
not
the
Disney
whole
Channel
MCN
shows back then. And it was very weird. It was very weird. It was kind of like Fortnite, where they didn't understand it. They just knew they had to be part of it, and they spent $675 million on Maker Studios. The guys who had that, which I think Carl Shea was, or Shaytar's guy, right? I think he was one of them.
Oh my God!
And there were some other people
you're talking
involved
about
with it.
you are now watching the Shaytar's vlog That's right. What was his name? I think it was Shaytar. But that guy, I remember him. He used to vlog him and his family all the time. Actually, I think I still remember the song. You are now watching the Shaytar's vlog. Just sit back, relax, follow along. Oh God, I do. Stop it. With freaking words, I can't believe I remember that. I was a little kid.
They cashed out, right? They basically cashed out early YouTube. And Disney burned it to the ground within 3 years. I think it only took them 3 years to figure out what the hell they were doing. And it all ended. We were actually part of Maker Studios back then with a different channel. So we've been doing YouTube a lot longer than Clownfish TV, actually. But yeah, we had a channel in Maker, and we watched it go down in real time, and it was a disaster. Like, nobody knew what the hell was going on. They had a message board. Remember those? Instead of Discords, and like there's no communication whatsoever. And
oh my God, message boards.
Getting gone. And it was weird. It was very weird. Disney did not know what they were doing. So fast forward, 11 years, and we've got them YouTube now poaching Disney people. So let's go variety here. Justin Conley, after exiting Disney, joins YouTube as the global head of media and sports. So this is also about ESPN. Disney files breach of contract lawsuit against YouTube over the executive's hire. So yeah, he was at ESPN, Disney and ESPN. Justin Conley has departed for the Magic Kingdom to join YouTube in a newly created role as the global head of media and sports. Variety has confirmed. Now, I know that Netflix even and YouTube, they're going to like stream sports. They're trying to stream sports. Yeah. So they're going to compete with Disney.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Most recently was president of Disney Platform Distribution, overseeing all third-party media sales efforts for distribution strategy, affiliate marketing, and affiliate-related business operations, spanning all of Disney's direct-to-consumer services, including Disney Plus and linear media networks. He also led Disney's content sales agreements for general entertainment studios and sports. In response, Disney sued YouTube in California state court over Conley's hiring, alleging breach of contract, interference in a contractual relationship, and unfair competition. According to the Disney lawsuit filed Thursday, Conley had signed a 3-year contract in November 2024, which his move to YouTube allegedly violates. Disney is seeking an injunction to block Conley's hiring. YouTube declined to comment on the Disney suit. Bloomberg first reported YouTube's hiring of Conley and the Disney law.
Okay, so in the contract, there was probably a non-compete clause. That is what they're talking about. But again, if I remember correctly, no, I think it was paused. I think the decision by the was actually paused by a judge. But for a time, I'm pretty sure it was looking like non-compete clauses were going to be non-enforceable in the court of law. I'd have to hunt down that story, but I remember reading about that last year, and then I think I remember a judge actually put a stay on that decision and said no, don't do that. At least not for now. There's a bunch of litigation involving it, but yeah.
Lawsuit. All right, so this is the LA Times. They said YouTube is a growing threat to studios, and it's headed to the courts. The Google-owned platform recently poached Justin Conley, president of the platform, distribution from Walt Disney, on Wednesday. They sued him for breach of contract, alleging he violated an employment agreement that did not expire until March 2027 at the earliest. That is like a non-compete NDA. And how didn't we just have a bunch of laws that they're not enforceable? A lot of stuff's not enforceable now. On Wednesday, Disney.
I'm sorry. So it's so funny that like he and I both ended up saying that I promise I'm not gonna beat the pre-watch allegations, but I have not pre-watched this. It's just funny that he also was like, I'm pretty sure that this is like a thing, like, yeah, like, and I can't remember exactly what went down because it was last year when I was reading up on it. But like, yeah, I thought non-competes were kind of non-enforceable now.
He sued YouTube and Conley for breach of contract, alleging that Conley violated an employment agreement that did not expire until March 2027. Okay. Conley oversaw Disney's distribution strategy and third-party media sales for its streaming services like Disney Plus and its television networks. He was also responsible for film and TV programming distribution through broadcasting and digital platforms. Let's see here. As part of his role, Conley led Disney's negotiations for a licensing deal renewal with YouTube. As part of his role, Connolly led Disney's negotiations for a licensing deal renewal with YouTube, Disney said in a lawsuit. It would be extremely prejudicial
I wonder
to
if
Disney
YouTube
for
thought it
Connolly.
had to ensure his employment contract is governed by, say, California law, where non-competes are generally unenforceable by public policy. That's a good question. We'd have to see, because Disney's, are they headquartered in, they're headquartered in Florida, aren't they? I'm pretty sure I know they had Disneyland in California, or in Fresno, I think it is. But I think that's just like a park. I think like Disney HQ is over in Florida. Maybe I'm wrong though.
Breached the contract, which he negotiated just a few months ago,
depends on
and
where it's
switched
venued.
teams when Disney is working on a new licensing deal with the company that's trying to poach him. As if Disney has never done this themselves, right?
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, I'm sure Disney has done this themselves, but this is just what they're alleging now. Just because they may have done it themselves doesn't mean that they're not going to freaking try and stop it from being done to them. And if Disney has done it themselves, then you sue Disney for doing that. For doing that. But you don't just go, oh, I dismiss this because Disney has done this themselves. Show up, show me the court cases, show me all the stuff that you're talking about. Otherwise, that seems, oh, I don't like the whataboutism. Well, go, they were doing it too. Well, I don't give a shit. This is what the law says. This is what they are alleging has been violated, and they are seeking restitution. I'm sorry that you think that they have also done the same thing, but that is largely irrelevant to the case in chief.
I'm sorry, but Disney has done this before, so it's, I guess, turnabout's
I'm sure
fair
they
play.
have,
I think
but
they're
it
just
doesn't
freaking out because
matter.
they're like, yeah, this guy goes over there, he knows everything we're
Oh, they're
doing.
in Burbank,
He knows
okay.
all about sports.
I didn't
and
know
that's
that.
one thing that they're trying to get heavy into now, but both of them, YouTube and Netflix, and they're trying to kick off the new ESPN because that's Bob Iger's thing.
Disney in Anaheim. Oh, okay. Okay, I was wrong. Anaheim. And she was moved to Florida for tax reasons back when Disney World was meant. Oh, so wait. Is it Burbank or is it Florida? Disney HQ is in Burbank, California, but Justin is saying that it was moved to Florida. So, not sure. This seems like a massive waste of money for a company that is already hemorrhaging money. They put out flop over flop, flop after flop, and now they're picking a fight. Yeah, it seems a little...
Disney's seeking an injunction. Yeah.
In poor taste.
YouTube did not respond to requests for comment. They have more money than God. Do you really think? I mean, this is the thing. Like,
that's true.
Disney is a very wealthy company. Well, depends.
Yeah,
the last couple of years haven't been great.
Yeah.
But like Google is the internet, right? Google's like 85% of the
Pretty much,
internet.
yeah. Google
it's
is
not gonna
like
go well.
fucking... If anything's supposed
but
to
it's
be
very
a
ballsy of them
trillionaire,
to
it's
try.
Google. Like, Jesus.
YouTube accounted for 12% of U.S. TV viewing in March, more than other streaming services like Netflix, according to Nielsen. Wow. YouTube's revenue last year
that
was
makes
estimated
sense.
to be $54.2 billion, making it the second largest
God
media company
damn.
behind Disney, according to research firm
That's fat.
MoffettNathanson. Yeah,
That's
YouTube
some
is a
fat
huge
stacks,
threat.
guys.
It's so weird. Everybody's kind of looking at Netflix, and here comes YouTube. Like, yeah, we're just going to... Now, it's kind of a problem for individual content creators because I think we're going to get drowned out. And I'm already seeing... I'm going to tell you, I'm seeing some algorithm changes over the last couple months that seem to favor more corporate content.
Google
and it's
definitely
kind of
has more money
drowning
than
out,
Disney, yeah.
Independent commentators and, you know, gameplay and all the stuff's being affected, right? It's not like it used to be. There used to be a lot more you in YouTube, and now it's like it's basically a TV network, a streaming service that, yeah, users can upload their own stuff to it, but mostly we're going to push this other stuff. That's what it feels like.
I've not been seeing that.
Unlike many other streaming platforms, YouTube has a mix of content made by users as well as professional studios, giving it a diverse and large video library. Again, I believe very strongly they are pushing the professional content over the user-generated content.
I don't see
because
that.
those studios are also paying for advertising. And they also
I
know that this
unsubscribed
stuff
from
is,
YouTube
you know,
Max, and since then I have not done any recommendations from Max to rejoin it or anything. Like, and that's where I would get all that professionally produced content. Anyway, so I'm sorry, I don't see it.
And safe. They're playing
I don't
ball.
see
They
it.
don't have to, you know what I'm saying? More than 20 billion videos have been uploaded to the platform. The company recently said there are over 20 million videos uploaded daily on average. Thank you for spending your time watching us.
That's
by
a
the
lot.
way. Streaming services such as Netflix have brought some YouTube content to their platforms, including episodes of a preschool program, Ms. Rachel. Netflix co-chief executive Greg Peters named YouTube as one of its strong competitors. That's Netflix. So yeah, they're afraid. They're afraid. That's basically what this boils down to.
Yeah,
they're
that does
afraid
seem,
that
that
he
does
is.
seem like Disney's super afraid of like this guy is gonna give up the goat in regards to streaming shit, and Disney's fucking terrified of that getting out.
Going to take all the company secrets over to YouTube, but the thing is that like Disney ripped off of YouTube anyway, so it's, you know what I'm saying? It's very, very weird. I mean,
yeah.
the most watched children's show now, well, it might be Bluey now, but was Cocomelon, and that was a YouTube thing. And
Yeah, it was.
the guys who brought Cocomelon to the mainstream actually used to work for Disney. So they're all like
I did
wherever
not know that.
wherever the money is, all these guys, shark infested waters. And eventually Disney's going to have to deal or contend with the fact that YouTube is a direct competitor to their business model. Like it was fine when YouTube was just a bunch of like homemade videos and crap, and you know, it wasn't really competing with them, because a lot of people were watching YouTube on their computer, watching on their phones and mobile devices. They weren't really watching on TV that much, or at least a lot of people weren't watching on TV. And I'm actually always surprised when I find out most people watch us on TV, because I don't watch YouTube. Very seldom watch YouTube on TV. I usually watch on my phone or something. But yeah, the lines are blurred. How long until YouTube opens up a theme park or something? That would be very interesting, right? So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for listening, guys. Please subscribe so you can find us. Because again, I've noticed those algorithm changes, they're not good.
Those
not for small
algorithmic
creators.
changes. Oh no. I mean, to be fair, I don't pay attention to the algorithm whatsoever. I just stream. I make content when I want to make content, and that's what I do. That's all I can do. Anyway, thank you guys so much for spending the last couple hours with me, reacting to content. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell as hard as you possibly can with your face, or your ears, or your elbow, or any other body part you possibly want. And we will see you guys all on the next one.
Hey, how you doing? You doing good? No, I'm hanging out with the kids right now. We're having a grand old time. Oh my God.